can't say it enough, I'm never giving it up. I just love it so much, I love fishing. Man, I love fishing. I can't say it enough, I'm never giving it up. I just love it so much, I love fishing. Man, I love fishing, that's just what I do. I can't say it enough, I'm never giving it up. I just love it so much, I love fishing. Man, I love fishing, that's just what I do.
What's up, guys? It's your buddy Dustin Warncke, associate publisher here, Texas Fishing Game Magazine, contributing editor, hotspots reporter, so many different things that I do here. I love doing this podcast, bringing this to you every 2 weeks. So you get a little bumper music, jamming to, and then we've got a podcast that we're going to start here in a second before we get some sponsors and that kind of stuff taken care of. And just want to give you a background because this is probably the wildest show that has been on the Best of the Outdoors podcast. I've never had like 8 people in a round table discussion, or more like a rectangular table discussion, to talk about fishing and talk about if you want to be a pro staff for a company. I never even thought the show would go that direction, but different things like that a lot of you guys may be asking and wondering about besides just hunting and fishing. How do I work for doing something with these companies to get free gear and that kind of stuff? And so those are the things that I talk about creating value and those kind of things, which I talk about in my course you can find on YouTube, Achieving Success in the Outdoor Industry, and then my ebook and everything on that. And there's just really cool resources out there for those kind of things. But we talk about that some of this podcast, and just really crazy. I got Bubba Blade, I got Okuma, I've got SPRO, Gamakatsu, one of the fishing guides from down in Venice, Louisiana. This is all recorded like live while we're down there, and it's just a blast, man. It's absolutely a party. I mean, it's just crazy, and it's later at night, and everybody's eating, everybody's getting saucy and crazy, and it's just a lot of fun. So I really appreciate you guys tuning into this show. Please share this. Please tell a friend. Please show some love to the Best of the Outdoors podcast. Hit that subscribe button. My son just made me a subscribe button for our YouTube videos that we do, and it says subscribe, and it has a little YouTube icon on it. He's made a little bell with a little bell thing on YouTube. And then the Best of the Outdoors podcast, he's made a cute little drawing of our logo, which is really cool for a 10-year-old to do for his dad. So anyway, that was kind of neat. Anyway, before we get into this show, I want to talk about one of our great sponsors that we have on this podcast, and that is Okuma Fishing. We've got Okuma, which has rods and reels. You have FishLab, which is their new bait line, and then you also have the awesome soft steel. Soft steel is basically their fishing line, and so they're really covering the spread on branching out and fishing in new different ways. We'll talk about over the next couple of podcasts that we do sponsorships with them on the Ceros, the Serrano, which are the 2 different rods that they have coming out, and the Fluorostretch, which is a Fluorostretch carbon. Fluorocarbon, which is a Fluorostretch, which is a type of fluorocarbon, I should say. And I'll talk about that one mainly this show, and then we'll talk about the rods on the other show that we do a sponsorship with them on, probably the next show or the show after that. So anyway, before the end of the year, either way, Okuma, sponsor, love them, great rods and reels. I've been fishing with the Ricky Red, which is one of their spinning reels. They also come in bait casting reels. Spinning rods, and they also come in the bait casting reels. Sorry, it's late. And then they also have a wide variety of spinning reels and bait casting reels, and I fished with both of those in the past. I own a Pixor spinning reel. Really fantastic fishing reel, and smooth, easy to cast, low price point, high quality, great value overall for something like that. So check these guys out at your sporting goods store. And today we're going to talk about the Fluorostretch, which is, like I said before, I got a little tongue-tied, a fluorocarbon. And the question is, are you looking for a game changer? Soft Steel's Fluorostretch is a unique stretchable fluorocarbon leader that provides anglers with 30% improved break strength at knots over standard fluorocarbon. Made up of 100% fluorocarbon, but containing the stretchable properties of monofilament line, Soft Steel's Fluorostretch will give anglers the edge they've been looking for. To learn more about Soft Steel's Fluorostretch, visit okumafishingusa.com. That's USA.com. Look for the soft steel section and look for the premium fishing line of the soft steel fluoro stretch. Really, really good stuff. And on the next show, we'll talk about the Ceros rods and the Serrano rods. Those are new this year. I believe they're new this year, but they at least wanted me to talk about them, so that's why I've got those in the show notes. So I've got those in the notes that I wanted to record today, so that's great. A little bit of, before we get into the podcast, a little bit of outdoors news from your buddy Dustin here. I took my son out hog hunting the other day, get him his first hog with a crossbow. And the hogs didn't come out. There was still corn on the ground and if you hunt Texas at all, you know that if there's corn on the ground, that means the hogs have not visited there because they vacuum up every little spare kernel of corn that is left on the ground whenever there's corn on the ground. So I knew it was going to be a hard hunt, and all of a sudden these rams walked out, two of these rams, white one and kind of a darkish one. And Jackson asked me, "Hey, Dad, can we a little something there, a little ram there?" And I was like, "Well, let me make sure." So obviously, I know the ranch owner's one of my best friends, and I made sure that was cool with him. And he whacked it, man. Crashed about 10 seconds later, ran about 35 yards. I mean, just a nice full curl. Trophy in our eyes, but they basically consider for a kids kill, it's great. It's an awesome harvest, and it's for full curl is basically where you consider rams to be trophy or start to be trophy, and this was a full curl and then some. It's just a beautiful sheep. It was just beautiful. It was just nice color on it and everything. It was a Corsican Barbado style ram, and had a little white on its face, white on its chin, and really unique looking Corsican ram that he harvested, and he did it great. Some Grim Reaper broadheads. He did some Luminox, some gold tip ballistic 425s. I mean, just a great combination with the Barnett crossbow, death grip death grip tripod. It's just really fantastic hunt. And so I've got that all on video. Check us out on the Pride Outdoor Network if you've not done so already. We've got some Texas fishing game content up there as well. PrideOutdoorNetwork.com, or you can also check that out on your Roku or Amazon Fire TV app. And the Roku is basically a device that you can use. The Amazon Fire Stick is a device you can use. But if you have a smart TV of any kind that you buy off Amazon, you can also get the Fire TV on your actual smart TV without having to worry about plugging anything extra into your TV set. But anyway, it's called the Pride Outdoor Network. Mac and Prowler. That's Mac and Prowler Hunting Adventures. You can check out Jackson's hunt on there. It's a video all by itself. And you can also check that out on my YouTube channel. And Jackson and I have also been doing some awesome videos on YouTube just off my iPad in my office of some product reviews. So check those out as well at youtube.com/D Warncke, WARNCKE. It's DWARNCKE at youtube.com. Dustin Warncke, and you can check out some of the videos, maybe some stuff you can get for the Christmas season for somebody that you love. So anyway, all right, without further ado, let's get into this. I've got a whole host of characters on this podcast, probably one of the wildest shows we have done. It's so crazy, I can't even monitor the levels because I don't have a pair of headphones to save my soul. Everybody has headphones. I don't. I just kind of ran with it, man. I just had fun with this. So if it's not perfect, I apologize, but this was an awesome podcast, man. What a great group of guys to get together. What an awesome event the Confluence Writers Summit was this year, and just a great way to talk about the outdoors as it concerns you, because that's why I do all this stuff, guys. It's for you, the listeners. It's so you get to do the best of the outdoors. You get to have the best of the best of the best of the outdoors, in your own life. And that you get to use the best products that are out there, and you get to have the best experiences that are out there. That's all I'm about with this show, guys, is giving back, because I've been so blessed, and I'm blessed to be a blessing. So without further ado, here we go. Here's the Wildcard Show. From deep in the heart of Southeast Louisiana, it's the Best of the Outdoors podcast, brought to you by Texas Fishing Game Magazine, the voice of the Texas outdoor nation, today the Louisiana nation. Outdoor nation. Joined to me by a whole round table of people, and we will start here with you, brother man, Dave.
That's right, Dave Brown, Okuma Fishing Tackle.
Cool.
Eric Elder from Dallas, Texas.
Okay, cool. Bass Fisherman, right?
Bass Fisherman,
Just
yes.
trying to give some perspective.
Actually, Rockwall, Texas. But
Rockwall, okay, cool. Good deal. That's great. All right.
Ethan Morris with Real Wicked Guide Service.
Real Wicked Guide Service. I'm digging that. That's cool. All right, Josh Neville.
Josh Neville with Bubba.
Bubba, and
Sid Reeves was SPRO.
not just from SPRO, but the national sales manager of SPRO, right?
I mean, I guess that's what you want to call it.
That counts for something in my book and in my humble opinion. But no, that's cool. I really appreciate y'all joining us. We are doing this at a late night podcast. I don't know how this is going to go. This is just going to be a lot of fun, and we're gonna party on. So this will be good. So basically, we had kind of a rough day of fishing today, and I'm basically trying to use the products that are given here that basically you guys all use in the on the water today. Things that are fishing, things that are important to our audience at Texas Fishing Game and beyond, because people from outside of Texas listen to this show, and basically would like to just talk fishing. So I mean, I was looking forward to doing this kind of thing for a long time. So who's first?
Well, first of all, you said that the fishing was tough today. I just want to let you know that you do have two of the current champions sitting at the table here.
I forgot to mention that Dave and I were champions of said fishing event.
That would be 3, not 2.
Oh, no. Good point. Yes, all 3 of us.
We're 2 of the champions on the same boat, was where I was going with that. I saved myself. Okay. Yeah, I pulled that one out of the weeds. Right, good. All right, so you won I
won the cup.
The cup, yeah, the Confluence Cup,
yes.
which is the Confluence Writers event that we're at, and I'm very proud of you. I think that's great.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. So that's a beautiful trophy to hold for a year.
It is. It was a great trophy. We had a good time. We actually came down, a bunch of us from Texas.
Yes.
Bunch of bass fishermen came down to do some of this red fishing, and we couldn't quite figure them out. And then we just started basically bass fishing.
Yeah.
We started catching them pretty good the 2 days that we were down here scouting and stuff, and we smacked them pretty good.
Cool.
And then of course the
blew.
Arctic front blew into Venice, Louisiana. I think it was snowing yesterday, if I remember right.
There were like snow flurries.
Felt like it was.
Yeah.
And today we were all bundled up and everything, and just praying for a bite. So we had a good one. So
Dave and I ground out a box of 6 fish, and we were the champions on that side, and then you were the ultimate champion with the cup winner. So kudos on that
good
side.
Times.
What are you going to do with the cup? That's what I want to know.
I'm going to take a picture of it, and I'm going to text Tim, Stan, and Scott probably daily, or at least weekly.
Just to rub it in their face?
Just to rub it in their face until next year with my name on it, because we're going to have this cup that we're going to bring back every year.
Your name's going to forever be on the plaque.
There you go.
On the plaque of the cup.
This is the first one, absolutely.
That's a big deal.
And then next, so I'll have it for a year on my mantle, and then we will see what happens next year. So I'm going to rub it in their face for at least a year.
I love it. That's great. Ethan, tell us a little bit about what you do with, what's the name of your guide service again? Forgive me.
Real Wicked Guide Service.
Real Wicked Guide Service. That's an awesome, wicked name. You're inshore for the most part.
Yep.
Redfish.
Redfish, trout, sheephead,
flounder.
Flounder,
okay.
drumfish, whatever bites.
Mainly in Venice, or where you? Okay, cool.
Venice, Beerus area.
Okay, cool. Beerus area, yeah. The first time I came down here was Burris March Media Bash, which is basically sponsored by a handful of other sponsors, some of them that are here, and that was in 2017. I caught 7 bull reds in one day, back to back. I was so tired of catching fish, I literally couldn't move. And I was like, only in a place like this that has awful cell phone service, awful Wi-Fi and everything, but awesome fishing. So anyway, and no stores really.
You can go from, some drifts. So certain times of year, October and November usually being the best. We had a change in our river this year, so it went down. Shot back up on us. Not much, but it came up enough to mess things up. So we actually fished bulls earlier this year, which was in August, and we had a good run. We were catching 22, 23, sometimes even, I had a couple of days we caught 50 in one day, just drifting, bays throwing plastics.
We caught 6. That's almost the same.
Yeah, that's close to the same.
You guys got a big fish show today, didn't you?
Yeah, we caught a...
Of course, y'all had a live shrimp.
He was a good 40 inches. He was bigger than my tape. So.
Oh, really? It was bigger than you?
No, it was bigger than your tape, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Big fish. 46? 45?
No, he was probably... I'd give him 42.
42. It's a good.
That's a
fish.
hoss, man.
So
Sid had a big one as
he had a
well. How
big
big was
head
yours,
on
Sid?
him.
Mine was like about 12 and a half inches.
You
It was
caught a white trout?
It was a white trout. It was a
Thought it was
big
a game
dude.
fish. Yeah.
No, I was just trying to win the cup. That's all I was trying to do.
You want to whip it cup and you're blowing it up. I love this.
No, but what I want to know is like as far as tackle wise. I mean, what are you catching most of those fish on?
We throw a popping cork with about a foot leader and a jig head.
Like as far as like the size of the tackle you're throwing though.
Oh,
is
I
it-
use 4000s
yeah, about
with
that.
a medium heavy rod.
So it's
I actually
relatively
use the
light
Okuma
tackle.
Ricky Reds.
Just so it's relatively light tackle.
Yeah.
You're catching 42-inch fish on.
And I hadn't burnt one up yet.
That's awesome.
So I use the Helioses.
Yeah, the Helios is awesome reel.
Yep. I actually
Okuma.
was using the pictures on them earlier this year whenever Dennis sent them. So
Right on.
we did good with them.
Very cool. You guys
No.
are using fairly light line too, 30-pound braid kind of thing?
Yeah. I think that's what they were spooled up with
Nice.
when I got them. I used to run 50. If you run 50 and you're fishing canes and stuff, and the customer throws a popping cork in there, you could pull it out. You're going to get your cork back. You might lose a jig head.
Right,
You're getting
right,
that
yeah.
cork back.
Leader.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, and that's easy to do when you're fishing marsh. Is you're
Yeah.
casting into those, which you and I did it a couple of times. We're like, oops, slow too far, and no matter how good you are, you can even got our
Yeah.
guide is with us.
So fishing, most of the time, the tide's going to be it's going to be decent. So you're not going to have low water like today. So we had that front come in, that north wind, and messes up both sides down here. And then it switched to the northeast. It actually was more east today than
Yeah.
anything. So it made the tide on the west side extremely low. It blows that water out.
We saw that firsthand.
And then
on
the
our
tide
boat,
was
yeah.
low this morning, offhand.
We saw like a 6 to 7 inch change
Yeah.
in one area we started fishing in compared to the area that we.
Yep. But on those high tide days, you want to get that cork right up against those canes.
That's good to know. And we learned that's where we caught most of our fish today.
I put the
right
cork in the canes a few times. It was fun.
there. Yeah.
He said get them close.
That braid ended up, handling it pretty good. So you've got real quick before we're talking about braid soft steel.
We do. We've got
Okuma.
Soft Steel, which is a new brand for Okuma. We've got a variety of braids. We've got fluorocarbon monofilament.
Yep, and also the FishLab, which
FishLab
Jonathan-
tackle we introduced down here this year. That's a lot of our new swim baits. We've got some new frogs. We've got hard baits, iron. We've got all kinds of great stuff in that.
Cool, good deal. No, that's really cool. Real quick, before Josh hadn't said much. Bubba,
yeah. We didn't catch a lot, so I didn't get to fillet a lot of fish today.
we all have an Ulu now
Yeah.
that's coming out in what? In
That'll be out in February.
What do you do with the ulu?
I mean, you can do anything you want.
you can
with
do
it.
all kinds of stuff with it.
No, that's
Anything.
then everybody wants to know what do you do with the ulu.
If you got a vegetable, cut that up. If you want to bake some fish, cut
Cut up a pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
it's
you-
a great
if-
pizza
heck
crust.
yeah.
I mean,
If
I think it's a great tool. I actually used it. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, it's really a lot. Like I said, in the beginning, the Alaskan people they started with that design.
Right.
They're the ones that did it.
Like years and years and
they've
years
been
ago.
filleting their salmon, filleting seals up. Man, that's their thing. So we're trying to bring it into the lower 48 and trying to grow it in the fishing market. Plus, you can cut pizza, vegetables, whatever you want.
They're still so used up there too. I mean,
Oh,
up there quite a bit. You still see them in every market.
They use it 24/7. Man, that's all they use up there for.
That's like their main knife.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
like-
it is.
and it has a nice sheath and everything to it, which is really
Nice,
cool.
yeah.
But I expected Bubba would come up with something new and innovative. And one thing I've said about your products before, about what Bubba's done since American Outdoor Brands has acquired it, is they're constantly like the engineers are constantly the wheels are turning. I can just
Sure.
see the smoke coming out of these guys' ears.
Yeah.
Theoretically, that they're coming out with all kinds of new innovative products that are going to solve a problem, as you said in your
Yeah.
presentation
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing we try to do with Bubba. I mean, it's been around for 10 years now. Is we want to bring a product to market that, like you said, solves the problem. And we got a few products coming out in February. Obviously, the interchangeable multiflex is
Yes.
that's going to be. I mean, it's an awesome product. We took the same quality of our previous knives and put it into a kit where you can literally have whatever knife you want, any situation, in one handle, and switch out the blades. And it's
So you don't have to carry all these knives and sheaths with
you.
you.
Get all the sheaths
You
throw it
just
into
carry one kit. Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's brilliant.
you're kind of walleyes, or you're down here kind of redfish, or you're down in Florida mahi, man. You can have whatever blade you want to suit your style.
12-inch stiffy, 7-inch flex, whatever.
Yeah,
It'll come with
it'll come with a 9-inch flex, a 9-inch stiff, a 7-inch taper flex, and an 8-inch ultra flex.
Okay, cool.
Any situation.
That's good.
I want to say, you said we didn't get to use it much today, the the fillet knife.
Yeah,
electric fillet knife. Okay,
Yeah.
but when we did smack them pretty good a couple of
Yeah.
days ago, and we ended up eating some redfish we cooked up the other
Yesterday,
night.
yeah.
Last night, I guess it
Yeah,
was.
last night, yeah.
We did use the fillet knife
The
then for
SK,
that, and
yeah.
I was very impressed
Electric
with it.
fillet
I've never
knife.
used one. I've used the old school. I won't name the brand.
I know.
For
We all have.
years, that everybody's
We all
used for
have.
years, and this thing was very impressive. So that's the first
Well,
time I've seen it work.
Yeah, and to Josh's
On a
point,
redfish. at that.
yeah, that's the other thing.
Thick
Redfish
scale.
have thick scales, thick bones, that kind of stuff, a
Yes.
thick rib cage.
Yes.
But the thing that's crazy about that all is that I used to be a big a certain brand fan that made the shark blades, right?
Yes.
And the shark blades, everybody look at me at the fishing ministry events that I would do and be like, "What are those? And where can I buy them?" You know, and I'm just like, these are innovative blades because they don't have as much metal to metal resistance. And they're not as they won't burn up as fast on you, and they won't wear on the motor as hard on you. But the one thing I liked about that particular knife, sit out here. It's all good.
Way to go, Sid.
Way to go, Sid. Sid unplugged us.
Sorry.
It's all right. I love you guys. But basically, one of those things that particular knife brand made was kind of the torque in the engine. And it was about a $50, $60 fillet knife you can buy on Amazon. But it's one of those things where Bubba took the best of what was out there already and put it all into something that already existed in the saltwater market that had a huge cult following. And I'm sure the guides down here, I mean, it's like a Bubba Nation. I mean,
It's great. On those 26-inch fish, it's all keeper fish. So if you go out and you have three
Right.
people, you catch 15, 26-inch fish,
Right.
you could burn up a regular knife. I hadn't burnt one up
I mean, that
to
was
where you couldn't use it anymore.
That was the biggest thing
Awesome.
with it was, obviously we're a saltwater brand all day, every day, and we wanted to bring a electric fillet knife for the saltwater guy.
Yeah.
That's going
Right.
to last you, and it's going to last you forever, man. That's the number one goal with that, is to target you guys.
It's got the power to go through them, and that's the biggest thing. If you go do it every day, you want a knife that's going to...
it's going to work as hard as you
Every
do.
day.
I hate to use that cliche, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's true. And you want your tackle, you want your everything that you do to perform, admirably, to keep up with your pace, and especially with the giant fish you all have here offshore and inshore, this lodge and others. I mean, it's something to. And what I try to do with this show, guys, and some of you guys have heard this, some of you haven't, but it's about making the outdoors more accessible. And I try to bring companies and things together where it makes the outdoors accessible to more people, but also using the best products in the outdoors that money can buy, which I think we have here at Confluence. I mean, that's the whole deal. That's the whole reason why this event exists is to kind of show media and to display those kind of things. But I mean, this has just been a great event, and just really to have the chance to continue to watch these brands that I've been following for the last few years now grow and continue to innovate. I mean, it's better than it's ever been in a lot of ways, and it keeps getting better. I mean, that's the thing I've always said about the industry. So, SPRO.
All right.
Gamakatsu. Obviously, a lot of saltwater, a lot of freshwater. You've got baits, you've got hooks. I mean, tell us some more about that, Sid.
Well, I mean, I feel like in the past, Gamakatsu kind of down in this area kind of gets left out a little bit. I mean, it's known as a bass hook, it's known as a freshwater hook, it's known as a catfish hook. It's
not so much as a saltwater.
Yeah, it's a saltwater hook, and it's the same hooks. It just kind of baffles me to this day that it has not been as strong as it is in other markets, but. That being said, I think a little bit of it is just people getting a little bit left behind and not knowing the products that we actually have. And we have circle hooks, we have a weighted swim bait hook, we have jig heads, we have everything. And I feel like events like this put the products out in front of the media guys so they can hopefully be a voice for us in the future.
Yes. Yes.
So, I mean, I think everybody that's used our product here has seen exactly what we've got. I mean, it's been an awesome deal.
And you don't really see, I mean, Gamakatsu and SPRO basically originates from Japan, correct?
Absolutely. Gamakatsu actually is the owner of SPRO.
I figured, yeah.
Gamakatsu is based out of Nishiwaki City, Japan. Can you say that? No, twice?
Not 2 times fast.
Wish you would.
Yeah, exactly. So it's actually a small town in Japan, and we use a very nice product, which is Japanese steel, and that's kind of where it all originates from. We have a great product that we put out because we have great materials.
Sure.
And that's what makes Gamakatsu hooks what they are. And I'm lucky enough to work for a company that's been a family-owned company since the 50s. Right. And, it's the Fuji family, and they've been very good to us. And, I mean, they've got the best, in my opinion, they have the best product on the market.
That's cool.
They are awesome. Not to cut Sid off too much here, but Dave here from Okuma. In Southern California this year, we've got an incredible bluefin fishery happening again.
Yes.
And I've been fishing those Nautilus circle hooks. We've had to drop way down to that like size 2, and they're awesome. They hold tight. They get that corner of the mouth hook set. They're perfect. They're thin gauge. We're fishing small anchovy to sardine, and they're cool little hooks, man.
And you've hooked into some good tuna. You've shown me.
What's the biggest one you caught?
235.
235 bluefin tuna on the West Coast. That is unbelievable.
You have right now a legitimate shot at a 300-pounder every time you go out.
Every time you go out. Wow.
So that leads me to one other thing. I mean, as far as the West Coast, we talk tuna fishing down here a lot.
Yes.
And as far as the West Coast, I mean, you guys seem to be the innovators of tuna fishing. I mean, as far as tackle-wise, we're starting to see a lot of the same stuff going on out here. I mean, the ringed hooks and, braided line. I mean, I remember guys out here who are using braid top shots.
It's changed for us, too. Your long-range trips would be your 10 to 22-day trips out of Southern California, which you don't do that anywhere else in the country. They're running way down south. You can be off the coast of Panama on some of those trips. And it used to be all monofilament. They'd be fishing 1,000 yards of 100-pound mono. They'd be doing backup rigs. So you got your $2,000 setup that you're throwing over the rail, backed up to another $2,000 setup that you back up again. So now you've got $4,000 in the water on top of this cow tuna.
It's like precision rifle
You're hoping to
shooting,
reel it back in and get it back. Yeah, exactly. But now with braided lines, with the new soft steel stuff, you can back that stuff up. You're going to get twice the capacity on your same reel, and you don't have to go through the backup rigs into the water.
Right.
It's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. I mean, that is so good. And, it's one of the things that the concepts around fishing, and why we fish in the outdoors is something I was talking to Tofield about yesterday, and it's just fun, man. I guess it's the easiest way to say it on a late night, talk thing here. We do it for recreation. We do it, but so many times, like in your case in Dallas, we get a little competitive with it and everything, fish tournaments and that kind of stuff. And we fished kind of a tournament today, which we were all 3 of us the victors of, part of the time. But anyway,
bring that up again.
We really have a lot to be thankful for. Is my thing. You can't do what we do in Louisiana and Texas and elsewhere, anywhere else. A lot of times in the world, in a lot of cases, with what we do in hunting and fishing and those kind of things. So. I know you're from California, so I'm trying to be, we love you guys to politically correct it. Because there's a lot of things we do here you cannot do there, and there are a lot of things you do there you can't do here.
I can't use a straw in my soda.
That's right. I forgot about the straw thing in California. Yeah. But that all being said, I mean, I think overall these events are so helpful to me because it helps me get the whole mindset and realize that there's so much that's going on that basically, we learn from each other as kind of a synergy and a network at an event like this. That we all can work, different brands can work with each other and share ideas, share media coverage, share, different pictures and stuff like that going on. And I mean, it's all for the greater good, I guess is my point.
That's it, yeah, for sure.
And I mean, you mentioned all that, and I think it's a little bit of a culture thing. I mean, I'm from the South. I'm from Macon, Georgia, and it's one of those deals where, this is kind of how we grew up doing it. We grew up hunting, fishing, and hanging out with the boys and doing everything else. And I don't think I told you this earlier. I know you were talking about Toefield, but his father passed away earlier this year, and
August, yeah.
which was a terrible deal. But I'll tell you this: tonight's my father's birthday.
Oh, wow.
He passed away in 2009.
Wow.
And
10 years ago.
absolutely 10 years. I mean,
Tonight,
it would have been his 59th. 69th birthday. And to tell you the truth, I mean, this is what all brings us together. Is this right here? I mean, this is what we do. We hunt and we fish. It's like a big brotherhood. And I'm so lucky to have guys like yourselves and other people that I know in the industry. And, this is a cool deal. It really is. And this is a cool place. So we're lucky to have what we're doing right now.
It's kind of, I hate to say the word, Dave White was saying last night, it was kind of like a fraternity, but every time we get together and do this is my third time at this event and my second year podcasting in it. But it is kind of like we say on Facebook, broadhead brotherhood. It's kind of like a hunting and fishing and outdoor brotherhood, if you will, of all of us to get together, because it's like we're like a small family here, and that's the way I think it should be. And Toefield and I talked about this a lot yesterday. That's the unity we need to have in our sport, in our sporting tradition. It's not that your redfish is bigger than mine. It's not that my buck is bigger than yours. All these different things that we see on Facebook every day, where people are judging and putting people down and doing that kind of stuff of our own species, of our own variety, of our own hunting and fishing people. That's something I'm very adamant about on this show is, love on each other, help each other, build each other up, don't tear each other down.
Well, but still rib the other guy on the boat.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, you got to have the competition,
When
right?
the cup's on the line,
That's not what I'm talking about.
But like you said, man, I've got so many friends now, and I was thinking about this the other day. I have so many friends now that I would never have had that I met through the outdoors industry, okay? Be it boat sponsors, be it Gamakatsu, be it Okuma, be it whoever it is, Bubba, whoever it is, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I've met so many people along the way and other people that are sponsored by the same people and different things, but that have become really good friends. I mean, Sid and I have known each other for 15 years. I don't know how long. I mean, a long time now, and I would have never met him had, I not ran into him at the Classic. I mean, one of those kind of deals. Right. So, I mean, anyway, it's cool you meet these people and you become friends and things with them. And anyway, it is a brotherhood.
Events like this are super special, too. I mean, Josh, Sid, and I, we do a lot of trade shows on the industry side.
Yes.
So we spend a lot of time on the trade show side. We got ICAST. We got the Bubba after parties. We got a lot of time that we can spend together. But then you have an event like Confluence or some of the different media events around the country. That's when I get my chance to spend time with our guides,
right.
our pro staff, our media. It's they don't get to attend that side of the industry a lot.
Right.
So these are awesome events.
And Sid,
so you're making it sound like that we just attend some big parties all the time.
Well, y'all do. I mean,
that's
what it seems to be.
No, it's really not, though. You'd be surprised. I mean,
I was just going to say, you were saying that you put on other events,
Yeah,
this being one that you're more of a guest at, but you put on a lot of events like this, yeah.
Yes, we do. We put on 4 other events, and they're great. And, this whole deal is, this is a whole different group. And it's so fun to go hang out with a whole different group of people. And, I think a lot of what we do is, based on relationships. And I think that's one of the biggest things missing in the industry is I think a lot of people are just based on money and how much I can get for this and how much I can get for that. And things like this bring us all together and we get to hang out with each other and really have a relationship with somebody else. And it doesn't have to do with money.
Right. It just has to do with love,
Yeah, absolutely.
Just good.
Yeah.
Brotherly love over there is what I meant to say.
I would say the biggest thing. I grew up fishing, in the Midwest, the cold water walleye muskie guy. Obviously coming to the saltwater side and doing this for the past 3 years, it's like end of the day, we're all the same ambitions. This is lifestyle that we're all doing, and
outdoors.
We connect 24/7. Like this is why it's fun. End of the day, it's just like catching fish. It doesn't matter what you're doing, what fish species you're going after. We just like hanging out, having a good time, the camaraderie around here, and that's the whole point of it, and that's really the root cause, like why this industry is awesome to be in.
By the time these are over, I mean, I just feel like we're so much like a kinetic, community, like a connected, synergy that an energy that kind of goes on between all that, and that's special. I mean, I don't mean that in a weird way. I just mean that in a cool, laid back, we're buddies way,
Sure.
And that's just kind of the way that. And the thing that bothers me, and I talked to Zach Brown about this earlier today. He said we should do a podcast and talk about, or was it you, Dave? We talk about high school fishing and what's going on, like in Texas. You guys know. The thing is, high school fishing is blowing up in Texas, but the problem is you got every kid now that's a high school student that thinks that they're entitled to all these sponsorships from all these people, and you've got national sales managers and that kind of stuff that are walking around, going, what's in it for us? What's in it for? What's the value that you're providing? And I think that goes without saying, that it's not an entitled sport. It's about working. Right. It's about sales, really, is what it all boils down to. I mean.
I'll tell you what, I work with, and I go and help with this local high school in Texas where I live, and I help those guys. And I was actually just talking to a guy that fished for LSU, that's one of the guys that's here this weekend with us that help this group out. And he fished for the high school, or for the LSU Bass Club team. Mm-hmm. And actually he was just telling me the story about how he lost to Matt and Auburn. Who was it?
Matt Lee.
There you go. To Matt Lee, Matt and
Jordan.
Brother Jordan. There you go. Thank you. Anyway, Matt and Jordan. Jordan's only won like a couple of classics now, but anyway. But he was just telling me stories about it. Anyway, he started in high school and everything else. Well, I started with these helping these guys at the high school level, and just. It's like I tell them, they're asking me the same thing. Well, how do you get these sponsors? How do you get this? How do you get that? And I'm like, man, ultimately it's sales. I mean, you got to be able to push your product, help these guys to make their make their product better, help their line better, all that kind of stuff. Get it pushed to be able to get the help. So
yeah.
So I mean, but Eric, what do you do for a living?
I'm in sales.
Exactly, and I think that's a lot of what it has to do with. And
it really is.
A lot of it is professional, and you carry your way.
Right.
You're not. I mean, I'm from Middle Georgia. You can listen to my redneck accent. Right. But
you fall right in line here.
Exactly.
This is right.
And the thing is though, but you carry yourself very well. That's why you're on our pro staff.
Right.
It's one of those deals where you're very well spoken, and that's why we have you. Yeah. And and I think that's a lot of the problem out there too. Is these guys they want to? Oh yeah, I can catch fish. I mean, that's great if you can catch fish, but are you marketable?
Right.
Yeah.
And are you willing to do something extra? I mean, you came down here. How many days work did you lose going down here?
A week. I mean, I've been gone a week.
Yeah,
basically.
You've been gone a week.
Yeah.
That's cost you some money,
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah.
And how much money did you ask for me?
Yeah,
nothing.
Ask for anything. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's a lot of it.
But I know y'all take care of us too. I mean,
we do. We definitely do. But that's what I'm saying. But it's one of those deals where you got to have the right attitude and you're willing to work.
That's where I'm going with that. Is the motivation and that kind of stuff of why we do what we do in the outdoors. It's not all about the money, like you were talking about earlier. I think you were the one talking about that. That basically was saying, it's about the, and I don't want to say lifestyle, but it's more about the grind. It's about the hustle. It's about getting things accomplished. It's about helping that bottom line of that company. And I'll give a good example. I've been on the pro staff on the hunting side of Grim Reaper Broadheads for the last 8 years. Well, I don't really necessarily go out and kill everything every year, but I end up showing them value in the people I've turned on to Grim Reaper. And the podcasts that I've done are talking about that kind of stuff. And I know there's some youth that listen to this podcast, which is why I bring this up, because that's important. I mean, going forward, you don't show up with your hand out. I mean, that's the joke about, I've told Brad and Dennis this, the writer's handshake is this, the hand outstretched, And that's the one thing I've always tried to be anti of as a writer and an outdoors, media person, is that, what's in it for you? not what's in it for me.
And I'll say this. I mean, Dustin, I've known you for a while, and you never come up to me and say, hey, how much can we get? You know what I mean?
I don't do that to Josh either.
Yeah,
I don't do that to
you don't do any of that.
you don't do that to any of us.
That's good.
He's done that to me, just so you know.
Yeah.
I told David ICAST this year, I want some money from you guys.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But no, that's ICAST. That's different. That's not this.
That's not
But
decent,
but no, I mean, I think it's all in the way that you approach your sponsors too. And what do you have to offer? I mean, if you have a YouTube channel with 43 people that are subscribers, I mean, and then you ask for $500 a month, I mean, you're not going to get it. I mean, it's just one of those type deals. And I know that's a deal that we all deal with all the time.
Oh yeah, I know.
Well,
I'll see it on everywhere.
I would say too, a lot of them. I mean, I think the biggest thing for this, sponsors and stuff out there is really be authentic to who they are and build your brand. Because once you start doing lots of sponsorships, or like you start just being a product, something, and
what you want to say there?
I really want to say, John.
we know, it's like. It doesn't help any party out. It doesn't help you out. It doesn't help the sponsor out. Be like, if you believe in the brand, we'll believe in you, and it'll go a lot further. And it's a partnership. End of the day,
absolutely.
And that's what we try to go for.
They call me in Texas a Bubba fanboy. I just was going to say that.
Dustin, you are the biggest Bubba fan I've ever met. You are a Texas. You 100% like the electric flame knife flasher when I brought it here, and I couldn't believe it. It was unbelievable.
So what makes you the biggest Bubba fan of all times?
I'm a brand ambassador.
You're wearing the bracelet.
I got this at ICAST.
You are Bubba.
And you got it at ICAST.
Yeah, ICAST. I've been wearing it since ICAST.
Yeah.
So there's even that. But it's something that you just not only believe in, but everybody is using Bubba products in my life now. Because I've simply showing them this is why this is a superior knife to what you're using. Right. And I have nothing against the other knife companies out there and everything like that, but this is why, and that's the way you have to do it when you're looking for sponsorships as a Bass Pro or anything like that, or hunting or fishing, whatever you're trying to do in the outdoor world, of just getting some free hooks or getting some, whatever. You've got to be that authentic, like you were talking about too. So
for sure,
not to do a whole show on sponsorship. I'm sure I could do that by myself. But yeah, this is stuff that needs to be talked about, because the problem is our kids are growing up and being like, well, he got it, so I should get it too. And I'm like, you didn't do what he did to get that. Right. He didn't just get. There's no silver lining. There's no silver spoon in this industry. And it all comes with a pair of work boots. I mean, that's the walking shoes. That's the truth. So
we all. I mean, depending on what it is, we're all working to get something.
Yeah.
Whether it's
fair to say.
I mean, it is very fair to say that. I mean, I've known Eric for 15 years now, and I give him anything he ever wanted. But the thing is, he
just put
Bubba blades on my
Bubba blade bracelets all over the table.
We just got rained on by Bubba blade bracelets.
Yeah, I got rained on by Bubba bracelets. But no, what I was going to say is, he's always been there to work a show. He's worked the classic with me and done everything else. I mean, that's the difference.
Yeah, I get that. For sure. Yeah, it's that engagement, because that's what people in media on our end. That's what y'all as product companies care about, is the engagement that we have with our fans and with our our circle of influence. And this is for anybody that is looking to do anything like that, because it's not just about being this huge person that does hunting and fishing for the rest of their life and that's all they do. This is for people that are weekend warriors or whatever the case may be. But it's not about how many likes or follows. It's about the engagement you have of how many people are going to actually go take action on what you're going to do. Am I correct, gentlemen?
Absolutely.
So
let's be honest. You're probably going to lose them.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the Stanley Cup, there's the Forest Wood Cup, but there's a Confluence Cup.
The Confluence Cup.
Imagine the ask.
I'm going to be shopping now for some new sponsors, but I did win the Confluence Cup here in Venice, Louisiana. So.
You didn't even catch the fish.
But I put my people on the fish.
You know who did it?
And Bubba's only Nicole was the one that netted the fish with a Bubba net.
I'm back here, guys.
Yeah, she's back there. She knows.
No, Didn't she wake up to net the fish?
Well, I wasn't going to tell the part about her taking a nap whenever I said fish on, and she's like, really? And then pushed me out of the way to get the net, and then. But
I feel like in the water, right?
There's a peanut gallery somewhere in this room where somebody's throwing peanuts at us from behind.
Right.
And it's not from Nicole and me, you know.
I mean, I wasn't going to call them out until they threw the Bubba things in my head.
I think she was on here last night. Wasn't that enough for her? She doesn't need to be in this room, does she? What's the deal here?
That's cool. I'm just so glad to have you guys on. I've really thought about this for how I wanted to do this for a while. And I was thinking, well, you know, libations and everything at night, you know, is this the best? But this is so much fun. This is so therapeutic for me because this is what I love to do is podcast. So I appreciate you guys.
We're always better after a bunch of water and Coca-Colas, you know.
Yeah.
Got hydrated all day.
Yeah, hydrated. Yeah, absolutely.
Non-adult beverages. So, that's cool. And all that being said, I mean, just this is a whole. I've said this before about the industry and what's going on, the trends in the industry, but this is continuing to get better, and it's already the best it's ever been. Is my point. Oh, yeah. With Bubba, with Gamakatsu, with SPRO, with with Okuma, with all the brands that are here. Grundens, I'm wearing a Grundens shirt, which y'all can't see that in podcast world, but they supplied the boots that we wore. You know, a lot of us wore this trip, and the outerwear, the Marmot, the ex officio, am I saying that right? And all the different socks and undergarments, stuff like that. The stuff that we wear, and it kept us warm. It kept us, fishing. I mean, it kept us comfortable on the water. I mean, it's just products like that that are continuing. You've got, the dry fit material and the wicking and all the different things that are good for those kind of things. And it's so much better than it was even 10 years ago. I mean, and I think that's so cool. I mean, I know I'm kind of a nerd here, but I'm just saying, I think that's cool that it's continuing to do better.
We're not going to disagree with you on the nerd part.
Expected Dave to say that. I've been deemed as a tech nerd around here.
He is our IT man.
IT dude, Even though I've been able to fix everything.
Didn't fix your phone, though.
I couldn't fix Nicole's phone earlier, but anyway. But what else do you guys want to talk about? I mean, the floor's kind of yours on this deal. We had a great time this week. This is a lot of fun. I mean, we grind. One of the guys that I have in Seadrift, he used to always say, "We smoke poled them today." He'd always have like a saying like that. "We just smoke poled them today," and then he'd say on the rougher days, he'd say, "We're grinding at a box." And I was like, yeah, baby, that's legit. I mean, that's just, I wanted to be more like have those one-liners like that,
Yeah.
We smoked them, we smoked cold anyway. But yeah, I mean, what else do you guys want to talk about?
I mean, I'm always fascinated by the guides down here. I mean, it's such a grind. It's weather. I mean, it was freezing out there today. I'm from California, so it was 48, but it was freezing out there today. I mean, what's it like down here, Ethan? I mean, it's just. I mean, how many days on the water are you down here?
Pretty often, 5 to 7 days a week sometimes.
Wow.
We stay pretty busy. It's better in the summer when I can wear shorts, but obviously you get fronts like today, and you just bundle up and go with the flow.
What's your prime time in Venice for big bowls?
October, November is the usual prime time. We caught them quite early this year. It was more August, September.
You guys change it up and go chase like a speckled trout?
Yeah.
Is there that season, and then you're going to chase reds?
We actually have a good winter trout bite.
Oh, cool.
Once that water gets real cold, they move into certain areas, and we catch them pretty good.
So here's what I want to know. How old are you?
21.
Wow.
Holy cow.
How long you been guiding?
This is going to be my 3rd year.
Awesome.
Holy
Living
cow.
the dream.
So since you were 18?
Yep.
But
That's
your
cool.
family's been in it, right?
Yeah,
Your uncle
I'm
and stuff?
6th generation commercial fisherman.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I grew up
That's
shrimping
awesome.
and crabbing, and there's just not much of an industry in it really anymore. So
Yeah.
my uncle started doing this 30 years ago.
Very cool.
That's
it's a
really
good-
cool, dude. That's cool.
Good
And
backup plan.
that's the thing about Venice that's so different from everything else that's going on is this, that if you don't hire a guide down here, you can get turned around real easy if you don't have good electronics like a Garmin or anything like
Find a
that.
pipe.
Or you can find a pipe.
You guys.
I didn't hear that.
So basically, that's the thing that it pays to hire a guy down here that knows the area really well. But it is like a maze. I mean, getting in and out of those cuts and through the through the marsh and through the cane and everything. I mean,
There's several ways to get to one spot.
Right. I've noticed that. I mean, and I've been. This is my 4th time to Venice, and every time I'm down here, it's just like. But the bull reds that I caught, the 7 I was telling you about at the beginning of our show, I caught them in August, and we fished Venice. We stayed in Burris at Ryan Lambert's lodge, Cajun Fishing Adventures. Everybody knows him down here, but we stayed at his lodge at a media event and ran down here, and I actually got to fish with John from Power Pole, the owner of Power Pole, the founder of Power Pole. All right, I got to fish on his boat, John Oliverio, and then Richard Chamblin, which is one of the guys that is the VP of sales for them and still is. And I got to actually fish on the boat with the guys that were like buddies in high school that started Power Pole. And I was just like, holy crap. Wow. This is so cool, dude. Awesome. And so, it's just one of those things that was very... but we didn't catch a lot of fish that day. But later that day, it was like August. It was hot. It was just miserably hot and humid and everything. But the fishing was hot. I mean, it was just on fire. And we released most of the bull reds as you typically do, right? Mm-hmm. And you do as a guide. And it's just one of those things that I'll never forget. I mean, this place has a place in my heart. I think I want my ashes, part of them, scattered out here. This is really just a legendary fishing. I mean, it's incredible. So
well, I mean, we're already hearing it from Macon, Georgia. I mean, I got guys that I knew from Macon that I didn't even know fish that are doing this now. They're coming down here. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. So like, what's the big? Over. Yeah, absolutely. It's unbelievable.
Venice is bucket list for everybody in the country.
Yeah.
Just to come down here, either fishing the rigs, running offshore, fishing these bull reds. We've got stories where we're down here on the side of the boat and we're actually doing an interview and whatever your jig is just happens to be dangling in the edge of the water and a giant bull comes up and gets it. Rips the thing out of your hand.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's stories of striped bass doing that on Lake Texoma too.
It can get crazy.
We're learning how y'all won today. Y'all. Now we're getting it. All that hard work y'all put in.
All those live shrimp.
Live shrimp. The only boat with a live shrimp.
I don't think they were very lively, dude. No, they weren't that live. They weren't that.
That's because that water was cold.
I'll tell you though, I'll put a plug in for the guys too, man, because we had a lot of information when we came down here practicing and stuff.
Sure.
And some of us got on pretty quick, but we, like I said, we had 4 boats out there, and we were looking around trying to find stuff for these guys, for everybody, and of course the weather changed that, but we had some good information and stuff, and they caught them a couple weeks ago. Well, it all changes, like you said. I mean, it changes daily, I guess, right? I mean, it can change daily, and
most definitely, fish have tails, and they will swim. If you catch them here today, they might not be there tomorrow.
Right, exactly. We went to the same. We have waypoints and everything, and it. Hang on,
we're adjusting a picture.
Yeah, we're.
Sorry.
We need.
We gotta get making pictures for this. So yeah, this is good. But no, this is good. I mean, and I appreciate you even being on. This may be a little intimidating being in with all these guys and doing this thing, but
it's not intimidating.
No. Well, no. That's cool. I mean, because a lot of people, that are young, kind of are like, they know what a podcast is, but they're like, I don't know if they'll say the wrong thing or whatever.
I was 21, 25 years ago, so I get it.
Exactly.
Yeah, me too.
Exactly. So. But no, thank you guys so much for tonight and just visiting with me and doing this. Do y'all have any final words as we kind of close this thing?
I mean, how about this as a home base though? I mean, this home run charters. This place is awesome.
It says home run charters in Venice, Louisiana. Look it up.
John's got a great operation over here.
Yeah, he does. There's even an Egyptian lady upstairs.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. Stop talking about your girlfriend like that.
Lest we forget the Egyptian lady.
Great decorations around here.
Yeah.
Great.
It's very unique.
Very ornamental.
So you can get a haircut, Sid.
And
thank you. Thank you very little.
Okay, round table here, or square table, rectangle table, whatever we have here. How do we find more about you, Dave?
You can find out more about Okuma at okumafishingusa.com. We've got softsteelusa.com and fishlabtackle.com.
Cool. Good deal. And then how do they find you individually?
My personal, I've got daviesworld.com, and then Davies World Fishing is my YouTube page.
Cool. I love that you do media on your own and stuff too.
I do a little
cool.
bit. Sometimes you find if you need some content, you got to do it yourself.
Yeah, I know that goes. All right.
Man, there's no need to find me, man. Come on, I'm just a Texas tournament fisherman.
That's cool. I just want to give you an opportunity. That's all.
Yeah, no. I just want to thank all these sponsors and stuff that helped with this thing. I mean, it was a great show. We had a good time. Brad and Dennis or Debro, we call him, but they put on a heck of a show, and we had a great time. Great eating. Good festivities, I guess you could say, is the best way to put that.
Indeed.
And we had a great time. You know, the weather didn't do us right, but you know, hopefully next year we get to come back and do the same kind of stuff, and the weather does do us right. So.
Cool.
But anyway, great time, and thanks to all the sponsors and everybody that put this deal on. Good. It was outstanding.
Good. Ethan, how do they find you?
I have a Facebook and Instagram. It's Real Wicked Guide Service.
Sweet. Real Wicked Guide Service. No spaces, no hyphens, no dashes, no any of that. Real Wicked Guide Service. At Real Wicked Guide Service. That's cool. All right, good. Josh Neville.
Yeah, so you can find us at we're at BubbaBlade.com. You can check us on social media, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, we're everywhere, and I follow up to that, man. I appreciate everything he's done here. You know,
Sure.
Run Charters did an amazing job. The weather wasn't the best, but again, it was just fun hanging out with everyone. Dennis and Brad, amazing job with this whole outfit, man.
Yeah, this is great. This is great, and it's a good representation of all the sponsors and everything too that's showing here, because we use their product on the water, or, you know, in the cold or whatever the case may be. Sid.
All right, guys. You know, we're available at www.spro.com, www.gamakatsu.com, and also, I mean, I don't know if I should give my personal one, but I will. It's syd@spro.com.
Cool. Good deal to reach out to Sid Reeves.
No, please don't. But the other thing, no, I'm just kidding. No, the other thing is, I just want to thank everybody for coming out. I mean, this is awesome. And Dustin, you do a great job with this podcast.
Thanks,
we appreciate it.
Thanks. I appreciate you guys. I do. Thank you guys so much for checking out our stuff. Remember, Texas Fishing Game, fishgame.com. This podcast will be live on a future date after this event, but I'll be sure to let all of you guys know when it goes live, so you can promote it to your circle of influence. And also, fishgame.com is where our kind of a hub of all of our stuff is. And check out our newsletters 3 times a week. Always forget to mention that on these podcasts that I do live. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, reading, and listening. Have an awesome day in the outdoors. We'll see you next time.